This is Glasgow Central Station, where today's journey begins to Hamilton, and a lot of journeys to various football stadiums I take from here. Now if you're ever in Glasgow, I can recommend the Glasgow Central Tour, which is run by a good friend of mine, a guy called Paul Lyons. Glasgow Central Tour takes you through the history of the station. It's a fantastic thing to do when you're in Glasgow. Unfortunately at the moment the tours are cancelled because Paul isn't keeping too well, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish Paul a speedy recovery from not just the football community but the Scottish community and everybody that knows Paul. If you've ever been here and seen a chap very smartly dressed, big grey beard and a kilt, leading the tours, that's Paul. So we wish him a very speedy recovery and hope to see him soon. So here we are in Hamilton Central. Got to be honest, I probably live about 20 miles away from here, and this is the first time I've been here for anything other than work or just passing through really. So this is my first chance to investigate Hamilton and what it has to offer really. So let's go and investigate Hamilton. Seems interesting. We are headed there. Tell you about that in a minute. So I'm walking through Hamilton Palace Park, I think it's called. And every day's a school day when you're doing this sort of thing. I didn't know, for example, that Hamilton wasn't always called Hamilton. It used to be called Cadzow, C-A-D-Z-O-W, back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean pre-15th century, and an edict by the king at the time, King James II, meant that the place was renamed after Lord Hamilton, who looked after the place, shall we say. He was the lord of the area, owned all the land, so Hamilton is actually named after him. It's not that the Lord is named after the place is actually named after the Lord. So, that was something I didn't know. I wondered why there was Cadzow, this and that, all over the place. You find streets and things like that, business parks all named that, that's why. So, I'm now in the park and I'm walking towards a place, but before I tell you what that place is, I just wanted to go through a lot of things that the Hamiltons famous for, shall we say, apart from Hamilton Academicals, of course. You've got the Hamilton Park racecourse for the horse racing. A lot of you interested in the horse racing. They've got that. It's a little bit far out for me to get to. We've got Hamilton Palace, which I'm in Hamilton Palace Park. I don't know where Hamilton Palace is itself, but that used to be the seat of the Lords, Lord Hamilton, etc. And I'm just coming up to one of the other things that it's famous for, and this is the mausoleum of the 10th Duke of Hamilton, that was built in the 1850s, just finished in the 1850s, and hopefully we should be able to see that now. I'll talk to you when we get up there. Well, as always, the plans of mice and men. This is the mausoleum, 120 feet high, the 10th Duke of Hamilton. Started work in 1840, finished in 1845. Unfortunately, the Duke died slightly before then, so it wasn't finished in time for him to be entombed inside it, but that's where he resides now, inside this mausoleum. Unfortunately, as you can see, it's closed, so I can't get in. And for anybody that wants to visit, according to the sign, if you can still read it, the public tours of the mausoleum are held 2 PM on the 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month between February and November. Tickets must be booked in advance, and there's the email address. Low Park Museum at South Lanarkshire leisure.co.uk in case you can't read it. Now, you might be wondering, why such an interest in this place? It's been a place I'd wanted to go to for quite some time, since I was a child actually, and I was hoping to get into it today, but clearly not. But this building has the longest echo in the world at 15 seconds, a reverberation of any noise that's made in there. So for that alone I wanted to experience that, but not today. But now that I know the details, I will sort that out. As I say, this park is very nice. Lovely little tree-lined path up to the mausoleum. I don't believe the palace is around anymore. I've certainly not seen any signs of it. But this is certainly the grounds that it used to stand on. So I can recommend booking these tickets, coming to see this. Kids would love it, especially to shout and scream. They'll hear themselves for 15 seconds again. I'm sure the parents will love that. Okay, now the long walk back to New Douglas Park, home of Hamilton Academicals, Hamilton Accies, whatever you want to know them as. Formed in 1874. Formed in 1874, they were the school team of Hamilton Academy, and as of today they are the only British professional team formed from a school team. So I'm told, you can correct me if I'm wrong or not, but that is apparently true. From the mausoleum to New Douglas Park, it's probably about half an hour walk. I'm quite enjoying the exercise. Something else I forgot to mention about Hamilton, has a famous son who was born here, Dr. David Livingstone, the famous explorer from the 1900s, who at one point was assumed lost. They had lost contact with him, hadn't heard from him for months and or years I think it was, until some American journalist bumped into him and uttered this famous phrase, Dr. Livingstone I presume, which has entered common language now in various situations. So yes, he was born in Hamilton, of all places. Well, what about these teams in the table? Well, Hamilton are 5th at the moment, played 4 games, won 1, drawn 1, lost 2. Airdrie are 8th, having only played 3 games, won 1 and lost 2. Form wise, they're about equal, with Hamilton have beaten Dunfermline 1-0 recently, but Airdrie haven't lost 2-0 to Queen's Park at home recently. So it's a little bit on a knife edge at the moment with this game. Obviously it's the Lanarkshire derby, so important to both towns here and the supporters. So let's get to the stadium and see what pans out. I'm absolutely gasping because I've not had any lunch, nothing to drink, so I'm hoping there's a stopping point before the game starts. We'll report back in. That's the floodlights of the stadium there. But we're just going to go and catch some refreshment before heading in to the pub where I'm told the Hamilton Accies fans gather. The Academical Vaults, the spiritual home of the Hamilton Academical fans. So come here before you get to a game and enjoy a pint. Just what I needed. In the academical vaults, 50 minutes before kick-off, plenty of fans here, and just wait for them to go and then I can follow them. And if you've got the money and you want a Bentley, or a McLaren for that matter, seems to be that Hamilton is the place to come. Whoever those people might be. Left a bit late here, guys. It's about 2:30. Just left the academical vaults after a quick one. And just realised I'm still half a mile away from the stadium. So, didn't help that I walked the wrong direction in the first place, but here we go. So, now headed in the right direction. Hope to get a little glance at the shop before I go into the stadium. And then straight on at kick-off. And here we are. What's it called this week? The ZLX Stadium. Obviously it changes every year as they get a new sponsor. It's an important source of income for them. So welcome to the ZLX Stadium. Just bought myself an away top for 10 quid. Tell me where else you could get that. I was going to buy a pin badge, but what a bloody top for 10 quid. We're wearing that at the next Fives match, thank you very much. Got my team sheet as well, which you can't see, but I'll show you that later. I think I should get that on at some point. And here we are. Hamilton versus Airdrie in the Scottish Championship, August 31st. Mid-table clash. Hamilton need to win to kind of give themselves a gap between them and Airdrie. As you'll see, it's a kind of unique stadium. L-shaped, two big main stands, nothing at one end, small one over there. This is very much a case of building to what you need, not just for, not just so that it looks right. So this stadium holds about 6,000 people, and that's all they need right now in the championship. It works for them, and why not? So let's get into the action, boys. It's just about 3 o'clock, we're just about ready to start. Right, pie secured. Glass eye and brew, total price £6. Wee bit pricey, but these clubs have got to support themselves, I suppose. So here we go. Quite a healthy wee crowd. Let's get it on, Hamilton and Airdrie. Here's the team sheets for today, just before the start. That's the end of the first half. Nothing each. So, goalless so far at half time, pretty uneventful game. Apart from a couple of yellow cards. Hopefully we'll see something better in the second half. I would say Airdrie have been the more adventurous. Taking a note of some of the players, one particularly on loan from Middlesbrough I'm going to look up after this game. And I think Hamilton need to be a little bit more adventurous if they're going to score in this game. Airdrie seem to be the more hungry and more inventive. But that doesn't count for anything if you don't put the ball in the net. Well, let's see. Subs are out training. Pie stalls, pie queues are full. Let's see what the second half brings. So, as I was saying earlier, this stadium is really only made up of 2 stands, which make up the, well, we'll call it under 6,000 seating. So here is the explanation for this little stand over here. Apparently, when they came to go into the league, into the Premier League, it is a minimum limit of 6,000, and when they joined they were under it. So they built this little stand to take them over 6,000 seats and thus comply with the Scottish Premier rules. So apparently that's the story of it. Hamilton have just scored, number 19 Ali shot. Good shot from just inside the box. A wee bit against the run of play, but I suppose they have had the most shots on goal, but definitely Airdrie are still the most creative. But that's the way it goes. Reece Armstrong getting taken off there, substituted and taking a bit of heat from the home crowd. Not sure why. Don't know if he's got a bit of history. I need to check that one out. Boys on the stream, whoever it is, number 28. This is the boy on loan from Middlesbrough. Airdrie are pressing for the equaliser. It's another goal for Hamilton Accies. It's Ollie Shaw again, number 19, a horrible mistaken defence. The boy was sleeping and Ollie Shaw just stole in front of him and put the ball past the keeper. It's now Hamilton Accies 2, Airdrie 0. Airdrie have just pulled a goal back, so now Hamilton 2. Airdrie 1 on a knife edge again. I think that was just 2 minutes after Ollie Shaw's second goal, so still 10 minutes to play. Still going here. There's a line over here. Oh dear. There is the equaliser from Airdrie, which again I was missing because I was looking at a Reliant Robin. So we now have an equaliser for Airdrie. It's Hamilton 2, Airdrie 2. I always said that this was in a knife edge. Goalie's down. You know what they really need is some magic, Hamilton. Maybe Harry Potter could help. I don't know. That's it, full time, 2 each. To be fair, Hamilton were lucky to go 2 up. I think that draw is a fair result for both teams. I really enjoyed that. It was a really good game of football. Lots of goals. I felt Airdrie were the better team for large parts of that game. And definitely the second Hamilton goal was a bad Airdrie mistake, but they seemed to pull it back and get the equaliser. So I think it was a fair result all round. Hope you enjoyed this anyway, I certainly did, and I'm hoping to do a lot more. Maybe not such high leagues, maybe some lower league games now. I think we deserve to go down the leagues and enjoy close up football rather than way up in the stands. So we'll see you next time.